In this video, we'll be taking a look at 2 college football games happening on December 16, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Miami, Ohio versus UAB. It's the official start to college football's bowl season as we get a matchup between the Mid-American Conference and Conference USA down in an island paradise. The Miami Redhawks are the road team as they take on the UAB Blazers Friday morning in the hometown Lenders Bahamas Bowl. Miami, Ohio closed their regular season slate with an 18-17 win over Ball State at home on November 22nd, though they failed to cover the spread as a 2.5-point favorite. UAB was in a similar boat as they won their regular season finale 37-27 over Louisiana Tech on the road, failing to cover the line as an 18.5-point favorite. This marks the first time that the 2 teams have met on the gridiron as FBS opponents. The Miami Redhawks come into this game with a 6-6 record, and they have gone 5-7 against the spread so far this season. It took 2 wins in a row to end the season to even get a chance to play in this game. In the last game against Ball State, Miami scored 12 points in the 4th quarter, and that was enough to secure the 18-17 victory. Quarterback Yvonne Smith completed 18 of his 46 passes for 217 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. The Redhawks are averaging 20.5 points, while their defense is giving up 22.5 points per game. On the season, Smith has thrown for 1,137 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. On the other side of this matchup is UAB, who sits with a 6-6 record, and they have gone 4-8 against the spread. They needed a win in their last game to secure a bowl game, and they were able to knock off Louisiana Tech 37-27. Quarterback Dylan Hopkins completed 7 of his 14 passes for 91 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Running back Dwayne McBride had quite the game, finishing with 16 carries for 272 yards and a touchdown. UAB is averaging 31 points, while their defense is giving up 23 points per game. McBride on the season has rushed 1,746 yards and 19 touchdowns. The Redhawks are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 bowl games and 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 in December. Miami, Ohio is 7-0 against the spread in their last 7 neutral site games. Meanwhile, the Blazers are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 in December and 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 Friday games. UAB is 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 overall. Miami, Ohio and UAB kick off this year's college football bowl season with an early Friday matchup in the Bahamas Bowl. It's a battle of 6-6 teams who will both be looking to end the season on a high note and with a winning record. The double-digit spread may seem large for UAB to cover in a neutral site bowl between squads with identical regular season records. Still, we have few reasons to back the Blazers down in the Bahamas. UAB's strong running game, led by workhorse RB Dwayne McBride, can help build and stretch out a lead. The Blazers have scored at least 37 points in 3 of their last 4 games. UAB is only 4-5 against the spread as a favorite this season, but all 6 of its victories have come by at least 10 points. When the Blazers win, they usually do it comfortably. Though QB Brett Gabbert announced he's returning to Miami after entering the transfer portal, we'll likely see backup Avian Smith under center in this game since Gabbert was hurt at the end of the season. Smith, a redshirt freshman, went through growing pains this season with a 9-5 TD/INT ratio and could run into trouble against a UAB pass defense that ranked 24th nationally in yards allowed per game. An interesting motivational factor is UAB's coaching situation. Trent Dilfer has been named the Blazers' new head coach, but interim Bryant Vincent is still around for this bowl. The UAB players publicly voiced their support for Bryant to be the new head coach after he led them all season. Even though the school went with Dilfer instead, the team should be ready to send Vincent out with a win while also trying to impress Dilfer as a de facto audition for next year. This Redhawks defense has been inconsistent, and I don't see them finding a lot of success slowing down running back McBride. Look for UAB to run all over the Redhawks defense, and that is going to be the difference here, as UAB is going to get the job done. So the UAB Blazers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Miami, Ohio was an underdog machine this season, going under in 9 of their 12 games. Some of that can be attributed to their defensive work, but the fact remains that this isn't a very good offense. The Red Hawks were held to 18 points or less in 6 of their contests, and the lone game where they cracked 30 came against an FCS program in Robert Morris. This season, UAB split their 12 games in relation to the total, aided by one of the nation's best run games. Nonetheless, we're looking at a pair of defenses that rank in the top 40 in the country in terms of scoring defense. With that said, I believe the number is a tad too low. I expect UAB to score around 30 points, with Ohio scoring in the high teens, pushing this number past the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Troy versus UTSA. The number 24 Troy Trojans collide with the number 25 UTSA Roadrunners in the Trading Cure Bowl on Friday afternoon in Orlando. The Trojans enjoyed a great season, going 7-1 in conference play and defeated Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt Championship game. The Roadrunners went a perfect 8-0 in CUSA action and beat North Texas in the title game. The Troy Trojans are 11-2 this season and defeated Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game by a score of 45-26 in their last game. Troy was actually outgained in this game by a total of 432-411, but forced 2 turnovers and an additional 2 turnovers on downs. Troy lost to Ole Miss and Appalachian State in 2 of their first 3 games, but won their final 10 games of the regular season. The Troy offense is averaging 26 points per game with 252.8 passing yards per game and 121.6 rushing yards per game. Gunnar Watson has thrown for 2,705 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions for the Trojans this season. Kimani Vittle has rushed for 1,059 yards and 9 scores, while Tez Johnson has caught 52 passes for 823 yards and 4 touchdowns for Troy. The Troy defense is giving up 17.5 points per game and 325.6 yards per game. The UTSA Roadrunners are 11-2 this season and defeated North Texas by a score of 48-27 in the Conference USA title game in their last game. UTSA outgained North Texas by a total of 571-366 and forced 2 turnovers in the win. UTSA lost to Houston and Texas in 2 of their first 3 games, but also won their final 10 games of the season. The UTSA offense is averaging 39 points per game with 308.6 passing yards per game and 177.5 rushing yards per game. Frank Harris has thrown for 3,865 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, while also rushing for 588 yards and 9 touchdowns for the Roadrunners this season. Kavorian Barnes has rushed for 713 yards and 6 touchdowns, while Zachary Franklin has caught 86 passes for 1,100 yards and 14 scores for UTSA. The UTSA defense is allowing 26.5 points per game and 404.8 yards per game. Troy is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games overall and 3-1 against the spread in their last 5 bowl games, while the over is 5-0 in their last 5 non-conference games. UTSA is 13-5 against the spread in their last 18 games against a team with a winning record and 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall, while the over is 6-2 in their last 8 games against a team with a winning record. To put it simply, the offensive gap in UTSA's favor is greater than the defensive difference in Troy's favor. The Roadrunners have been exceptional at keeping drives going and converting in the red zone. Their weakness has been allowing opposing teams to rack up big yards but holding them from reaching the end zone. The Trojans will have drives peter out as they fail to convert on 3rd down. The Roadrunners also have a most dependable passing attack, with an interception rate of 1.64% compared to the Troy's 3.3%. I get the case to be made for Troy here as the Trojans were on fire over the last couple of months and come in as the Sun Belt champs. However, this is a Troy team that faced weak opposition like Ulm and Arkansas State before beating a Coastal team in the conference championship that was without its heartbeat in starting QB Grayson McCall. The Roadrunners have one of the best offenses in the country and they look to be fully healthy and locked, stocked, and loaded for this game. So the UTSA Roadrunners to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Roadrunners were involved in several shootouts this season. They have a quick offense, averaging 78 offensive players per game, ranking them 8th in the FBS. The passing offense is good enough to solve any defense, ranking 8th in expected points added per play. They have averaged a stunning 43 points in their last 5 games. In addition, the Roadrunners will definitely give up points. They have squandered at least 27 points 8 times this season. The Trojans are known for their defense but can score. They have eclipsed 30 points in 3 straight games, including including 45 points against Coastal Carolina. These two teams scored a combined 93 points in their conference championship games. UTSA is in the top 20 in points per play, and while Troy isn't quite as great, they're at a respectable 0.37. While I said the Trojans might struggle to get into the end zone, they're top 20 in field goal conversion rate. The total has gone over in 8 of the Roadrunners' 13 games this season and the last 8 bowl games for Troy. These two teams have cleaned up their offensive execution in their most recent games, and it should be on display in the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl. Plus, the over is 5-0 in the Roadrunners' last 5 non-conference games. I expect a barrage of scoring. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.